Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 120 of the Fringe Fanatics Sports Podcast. I am Chad Lee.
And I am Chris Zane. Close one.
Yeah, no, see how I threw it up on you there?
I took.
I am Chris Zane. That is Chad Lee. It's episode 120. We are kind of at a weird point right now where if it wasn't for the Four Nations, there really wouldn't be much to talk about right now.
Yeah, some minor things in football.
Yeah, other than that.
Basketball, there's a circus.
Yeah, it was a circus. Yeah,
that's what I think of it as.
That was definitely a circus, but
Harlem Globetrotters is more entertaining than that.
Yes, but it is also the time where I must face the fantasy league punishment for having the worst team, and that is why this little guy, my little buddy, little Nitro, sitting here.
Yes, indeed.
The world's hottest gummy bear will be ingested by me and regretted immediately thereafter at about 6:30. But
that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, yep. On this episode that we are going to have Alex Beal joining us. He joined us a long time ago before we were really... Might have been like one of our first guests, actually.
I think I was living at that other house.
Yeah, in the blue room.
Yep, the blue room.
The blue room.
So, yeah, it's definitely been a minute, but he's one of my best friends and knows a lot about basketball.
Yeah, and he has also now been joining, and I think he's just kind of part of it now, the Counter Option Podcast.
Yeah, he started out as a guest, and then they brought him on kind of more as a regular. I think they're taking a little bit of a break right now, but I think they're going to be getting back going to it pretty soon.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yes, so that is where we are at. This is gonna be a little bit of a truncated show because we're gonna try and get through most of the topics here before we call Beal. And then we're gonna call Beal, we'll hit the music break, and then I'm going to suffer for you all for probably 30 minutes.
I would imagine it's probably gonna be 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or
so.
I kind of have an infinite little explanation on it, or expectation. I mean, we watched that video from Alex, and that was, I want to say 27. It was like 30 minutes.
I cut it down too.
Yeah, like quite a bit.
Yeah, I sped it up and cut it down. So we'll probably cut it around a half an hour. We'll see. It probably won't be as funny then. It'll just be kind of like. Ugh.
How much milk did you bring?
I got like one of those like
a glass thing?
The tall, skinny like cardboard ones.
A cardboard milk?
Yeah, cardboard milk carton.
Yeah, like a
like the ones from school, but longer.
Yeah, no, I know. I can't remember. I think
it's a
gallon.
Pint. It might be a gallon.
Maybe it's a half. I think it's a half gallon.
That sounds about right.
So you can drink the whole thing.
I got a half gallon. I got a little bit of liquid courage tonight. I also have some water. I'm trying to stick to just water and milk.
Yeah, the milk thing is what I think would make me more nervous than anything because if I have a milkshake, I get really. I don't agree with dairy as much anymore, and so that would be rough.
I think no matter what, Chad, I'm gonna have the poops. So I think that's just in my.
It's either gonna be milk poops or
It's like no matter what, I think I'd like them to be mixed. Yeah. If you ask me, but so that's what we're heading towards. It should be fun. I've been dreading it all day. But I keep telling myself it's just a little gummy bear, and I'm a big bear.
Well, and it's got to be motivation too. Don't finish last in fantasy. That's the big thing there.
I mean, we talked about it. I did everything I could. There was some crazy trades there in the middle, but I was already, things were done by then. Yeah. I mean, when your first two drafted quarterbacks are gone in week one, you're kind of like,
someone's got to have that stroke of bad luck, man. It's nuts.
It was me. I was basically cursed. Both my teams did not do well this year.
Yeah.
But what can you do? It is what it is. And, we made the consequence. So therefore I must suffer through it. But,
well, I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure you're excited. I'm thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to that, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Little low key. I've been kind of going balls to the wall a little bit with work and stuff. So, just kind of got some catching up this weekend. I started rewatching Arrested Development.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, nice. Good show, great show.
Never made it too far in it, but I've always enjoyed when I watch it.
Yeah, I think I've been just putting it on when I'm like working or just doing whatever, and I'm like into season 5 because it's nice because they're only half hours.
Oh, they're quick.
You can rail through those, but Other than that, like Sunday, I basically slept a lot. Did not do too much. Saturday, I got some stuff done around the house. Watched a little bit of those fights.
Oh yeah, I didn't really catch much of them.
They weren't that good.
Well, Jared Cannonier, it was pretty cool to see him get that win. He's 40 years old.
That guy that he was fighting, what's his name?
I can't remember it. But...
Dude, he looks like the guy from Kickboxer. The bad guy with the little ponytail.
Yeah.
He looks like that. I was cool. The whole time I was watching, I was like, that is that guy.
That's the guy that I had picked to win too. I had a 3-leg parlay, and the other 2 were right. And then I didn't think Jaden Cannonier, because he's like lost like his last 2 fights, but
yeah,
pretty amazing to still get that, and he was a dominant kind of performance.
Yeah, he did. He went all for it there, and I liked
it.
But yeah, I wasn't even really paying that much attention to those. But yeah, trying to think. I feel like we watched a movie or something, but I can't really remember.
So what did you watch instead of watching USA versus Canada?
I was watching some of that, and I just didn't think. Like the first ones weren't that good, dude. Like I tuned into one of the first matchups, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna be.
Yeah.
And really, if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't be that like groundbreaking of a thing. It's better than any All-Star thing they can do.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's really what the matchup between Canada and America was. The thing that we're still talking about today.
Exactly.
And we got a rematch on Thursday, so that's going to be
going to be awesome. Yep.
Because I do feel bad I didn't watch it live. I did see all of the all the highlights and the fights. I mean, you really in 10 seconds you saw the good storyline by then. It was pretty much all over. But I mean, Canada used the momentum in their favor at first to score the first goal, and then it wasn't too good for a while, and then the third period we came a coming. The Eagle.
That's right. Put a little Toby Keith behind that or something. Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so they played good.
No, yeah, I did regret not watching it, and I will be watching on Thursday.
No doubt. 6 p.m.
Yeah, and it also sucks. Nuggets are playing too, so it's first game back.
Good thing it's just the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah,
but we got to keep that win streak going.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I think they've got 2 more to tie or break the record for a win streak.
I think they're at 8 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that would be exciting. I don't know who Slur 5280 is. Oh, I bet I do know who this is. This is Killer Trav. I think it might be Travis.
Oh wow, nice.
Travis Plumley.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so let's get into your weekend, man. I mean, I wish I had more to say, but the weather came in and that kind of, put a damper on thing,
kickback weekends sometimes, man.
But what about you?
Well, we finally went to go see Dr. Phil on Friday night.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that was a blast, man. Got to show her first before you even got there, Appaloosa Grill. You ever go eat there?
No, I haven't.
It's right there next to Paramount. They got live music every night right there on 16th Street. Dude, I had no idea 16th Street is being gutted right now.
Oh, I mean, it's basically a hellhole.
I mean, it was bad before, with everything, but now there is literally construction everywhere where you're walking through fenced areas.
There's a lot of places downtown that are like that, where you're like walking down the sidewalk and it's like covered construction stuff.
It was everywhere. I thought it was maybe just a chunk, but it's right there in front of Paramount. Appaloosa Grill was awesome, and then Dr. Phil was hilarious. We had row 2 seats, so he came out there. I shook his hand as he was leaving.
Nice,
kind of that, and then he had so he always has guests on the show.
Yeah.
He had Josh Blue from Denver. That was he was hilarious, man, and very underrated comedian. If you're from Denver, obviously heard of him.
Yeah.
Please go check out Josh Blue.
He has cerebral palsy.
That's right.
And if that might make you spark your memory as to who he is, because he's very, you'll recognize him when you see him more.
No shame. Very, very kind of. Yeah, got that type where he can make fun of himself well.
Yeah. He's very good at that.
He was really good, and then he brought out Nick Thune.
Oh, he plays songs, correct?
Yeah. He's been on Jimmy Fallon and all those Tonight shows and stuff.
Like a bearded guy.
Yeah. Kind of looks like Adam Scott a little bit, but
oh yeah, a little bit, but with like a beard.
Right.
There's another actor that he looks like, and I can't think of his name, and I'm not gonna sit here and try and remember.
Emil Hirsch, maybe.
No, I could kind of see that a little bit, but yeah, he's a very handsome guy.
He like went full hippie, dude. I remember hearing about Nick Thune, and that's the same thing about like Josh Blue. I thank God for like Pandora Radio and stuff, because I remember hearing about Josh Blue like in 2012 when we were still working.
Yeah,
I think right before I was working at Tokyo Joe's.
I think he was on
Last Comic Standing. That's where he won it. Yep. So before Nick Thune, it was Ralph Barboza. Huge new rising star.
Oh yeah, he's super funny.
He's hilarious, man. He was great on there. It was just fucking awesome, man. They cracked me up. And then as he was leaving, got a little high five in there. And then even on the Instagram post, we're like right there. So VIP tickets paid off. We tried doing the meet and greet, but I cannot wait in line. That's why I didn't like amusement parks as a kid and shit, unless I had the fast pass.
I could see you being like,
I was trying to, and I was really trying. What pissed me off is like they didn't tell us that we were supposed to get these like bracelets when we first came in for VIP, and she like on the email she saw that all they said was like you're just supposed to. You just sit there and wait, and the VIP will tell you. But I'm looking around right at the end of the show, and everybody's got these bracelets on,
and we don't.
Yeah. So luckily, there was a few other people that they didn't get told either. So we go get that figured out, and by the time we get that, everybody else is leaving to go to do the meet and greet, and we were in the last in line. So we waited an hour and a half, and we were just like, man, fuck this. All right, let's go. No, it's all right.
I get it.
Yep.
That stuff does suck. I mean, I may have waited for a while, but I probably would have given up.
And see, that's just it. Is like when we got to see like how much longer it was going to take, it still was going to be like another 30 minutes, and to wait 2 hours.
Yeah, that is.
It's like
especially and it'd be one thing, and it sucks to talk about stuff like this because it just makes you feel like you're getting old. But like if we were younger, I'd be like, whatever, I'll just hang out.
Yep.
But now it's like you've already gone to dinner.
Yeah,
you've already gone to the show.
Yeah.
The show's over now.
You can't buy any more booze.
In your body, you're like, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm going to stand outside and wait.
That's what made it all right. We went back to the Appaloosa Grill, ordered some wings, pretty much had a second dinner. Yep. Then they had some live music going. The guy was playing a bunch of classical rock songs and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Did you get your Freebird on?
No, she definitely shouted that. I mean, no, she didn't. But I mentioned it. We always
everybody usually does.
Well, that's like her favorite song. That's like one of her favorite songs. Yeah, so that's why too.
One of the things I shared, I kind of stole it, but I try and give credit now, and I feel like it's okay. But it was the fights and all the highlights from the USA Canada game. I don't know if you saw that one, but it was like the Freebird solo, and it was super epic.
Oh, nice!
A bunch of people.
That's fucking cool. Hell yeah.
I can't take credit for it. I didn't make it.
No, but yeah,
I will.
Shared it. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
Sharing it.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That was a good Friday night.
And then what's Saturday?
I'll just shorten this down a little bit because I know we got to get going, but yeah.
No, we got 2 minutes.
Okay. So Saturday, basically, it was just chill. We stayed here and played cards. Watched the no, it wasn't the SNL thing. We watched that on Sunday night.
Sunday, yeah.
Yep. So Sunday we went to go see Captain America, and then we watched that.
You don't sound pumped on it?
I thought it was pretty good. I wasn't like blown away by it, but
How's Harrison Ford as Red Hulk?
Harrison Ford's awesome in anything he does.
Yeah,
we've talked about that last week, dude.
Yeah.
I was glad to see him do it because he killed it. I was just pumped, and that's just really what you have to go get ready for is just them setting up.
Yeah, this is like
so, and it's not. Avengers, don't expect Iron Man or Thor. It's just leading into the next one. That's kind of what I was pumped for. And you kind of do get that post-credit scene leading up to Doomsday.
I heard something about that they were recasting Kang.
I haven't heard anything about that. They're moving away from him as a character.
Well, they kind of had to, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so that's why they brought
go crazy and chase a girl through the streets of wherever he was.
He was like choking.
Yeah,
too. Yeah. But they just brought in Robert Downey Jr. and he's going to play Doomsday.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Scrapped the whole case.
It's still weird though that they're like, Robert Downey, come on down.
I know.
You're now Dr. Doom.
He's going to make so much more money.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well. Let's get into the headlines, Chad. What's Sunday? What happened Sunday? Tell me Sunday.
That was Sunday. Then afterwards, we watched that SNL special.
How was it?
It was pretty good. It wasn't like hilarious like I was really expecting, but there were still some that they really brought back. They brought back the Debbie Downer, Rachel Dratch one.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. Will Ferrell was good in all of his bits.
Yeah, I saw that they did the not like us as the.
Oh, that was at the concert Saturday night.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't realize there were two different things.
Yeah, they really had a huge celebration for it. But
I might have to check into some of it. Just anymore Saturday Night Live, I'm just like, I'll catch whatever was good afterwards.
And that's what's nice is like, you know, when they bring back all of the good stars and stuff, that's what makes it kind of cool. You know, they made a lot of jokes that like, oh, we you know, got to thank the original cast, and then they included Kenan Thompson because he's been there for so long.
Yeah, he's basically been here since '75.
Yeah, so that was pretty
he was
funny.
conceived while watching SNL, and now he's been here. So, all right, well, that's cool. Yeah, I still need to check that out. I haven't done that, but I did see a few like clips from it. I was just like, I don't know if I really want to take the time on that one.
I hear you.
Oh, I did start watching that. The new Olympic thing on Netflix.
I've thought about checking that out. It's over last year's Olympics, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and you don't really realize. I guess like the dream team, the '92 Olympics, is what created like this European explosion. Like most of those guys saw that, and that's like what ignited them to go start playing basketball more and stuff.
Oh, so yeah, that's what they talked about a lot in the Last Dance, and then there was also that. It was the documentary that came out, the Redeem Team. They kind of brought that up too.
I still haven't watched that one because I've watched like the 30 for 30 and stuff. And I'm just like, I guess I could watch.
It's pretty cool because they really go into how Kobe was a huge part of like really.
Oh, the Redeem Team, the
Redeem Team, yeah.
But yeah, no. But yes, let's get into it.
All right,
it's time. Headlines.
Headlines, get your headlines here.
That's right. It is time for headlines.
Yes, indeed.
As Tyler brought up, is the first Sunday with no football.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
I was pretty happy about it.
I bet. Yeah, you're ready to move on.
Really enjoying.
I was ready for the season to be gone.
Yeah.
But yes, it is time to get into the NFL as we always do first and foremost because NFL rules all.
Are you ready for some football?
You better be ready for some football. Because it's over. So
we're still
take it while you can get it. But we're gonna have, before you know it, it'll be time for the Underwear Olympics, and the next thing you know, we'll be at the draft. So it's gonna keep rolling. We do have some news that we're gonna talk about here, but let's get it started. As the Bengals have made some news, as a lot of people did have the Broncos and other teams on the top of the list odds-wise to land T. Higgins. It has now come out that the Bengals now plan to retain him, more than likely using the second franchise tag, which the second time you use it, it's the top 3 average salaries. So they're still going to be paying him over $30 million a year. It's going to be pretty wild. But
would it be $30 million? Or
I believe so, because the top 3 are all...
I think they're around like 30, right?
No, I think Jamar Chase is at 35 now.
Is it 35? Damn.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right. It's going to be over 30. Oh man, that's going to be pricey because they have to pay Chase too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's Jamar Chase signed a 4-year, $30 million contract. When was that? That wasn't that long ago. But yeah, it's Chase is meanwhile under contract through 2025, but has been seeing a long time. Okay, so yeah, my bad. I'm looking at old stuff, but yeah, it's still, they're gonna have to pay both of them.
I just don't see how this is going to be possible. They're going to have to lose Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson's been on the team for a while. He's pretty much a vet.
They're trying to keep all of them, they said.
They are.
I don't know how, but it's, I mean, you can finagle your way around the cap. You give them a huge signing bonus, but we are talking about one of the cheaper teams in the league in terms of doling out money over the years.
Yes, yeah.
And they have not been known to, whatever, break the bank, so to speak.
And after the year that T. Higgins had, I really would kind of be upset if I were him too, because, you could go seek top tier money somewhere else.
Well,
like Jacksonville. Have you heard about Trevor Lawrence trying to recruit his old college teammate?
No, I did not.
They won a national championship together.
That's true. Yeah.
A large part due to Justin Ross, who's been on the Chiefs practice squad for forever.
just hanging
Could
out.
never get to that level of T. Higgins.
So it'll be interesting to see, because his mom was not happy about it, and she made it known. She came out and called them selfish bitches.
That was hilarious.
So I get it, but still, he's going to be making $30 million. It's hard to be like,
yeah,
oh, it's not long term. But
and we
unfortunately,
yep. I'm sure Burrow's going to restructure his contract.
He did say that.
Yep. So that's going to happen.
So yeah, that's what's going on in the Bengals world.
Yep. Down in Miami.
Yes, Miami.
They released Raheem Mostert and cornerback Kendall Fuller.
Yeah, it seems like the Dolphins are doing a little bit of an exodus here as we head into the league year coming up. They don't want to pay these guys any extra, and they're cutting ties where they can. So,
well, it makes sense. I mean, they got Devon Achane down there, and then they just had Jalen Wright. I was trying to think of the new rookie. He's super fast. So,
So obviously, those were kind of expenditures that weren't going to hurt them to get rid of. But
what do you want you to take this next one?
Okay, I will. You don't want to talk about it?
Oh, no, I'm just saying it's your turn. Go right ahead.
That's fair. Justin Tucker is things are just getting worse for him, and after he came out and vehement. Oh, never mind. After he came out and just basically said that all these accusations are false, vehemently.
So it's a he.
Vehemently.
Yeah.
Vehemently, thank you. As we work through English language, yes, he basically came out and said, no, it's all lies. But now the plot thickens as 7 more massage therapists come out and accuse him of wrongdoings while getting a massage, and that brings the total now to 16. We are in Deshaun Watson territory.
Well, speaking of that, the Browns need a kicker. Something to think about.
That's true. Bring them in.
Yep. They don't care.
Bring them in.
Yep.
Give him like $30 million to kick, whatever.
In Cleveland. That's just part of the culture.
Cleveland, yes. Cleveland is, we don't even know what's going on there. Neither do they. But let us move on. Where should we go, Chad? Do you want to go hard in the paint? You want to go to the NCAA basketball? What do you want to do?
Let's go hard in the paint, and let's cover the NCAA basketball, because that'll be 3-4 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
Here we go.
Basketball is a voluntary activity. It's not a requirement. And if you feel you don't want to be on a team, feel free to leave right now. Did you hear what I said?
Me?
Yes, you.
Sure, I'm just curious to know when we start.
We start when I say so.
Okay, would you kind of let me know, because I'm kind of getting
All
tired
right,
of standing.
Right now.
You kicking me out?
Yes.
Shows that there was millennials even back then.
Yes, and there's always lazy people.
No respect.
What are you going to do?
No respect.
All
right.
Yeah.
Well, this is our first week of covering college basketball, as we've had a lot going on, but now we can start talking about it. And, dude, I wanted to bring this up and have this be the first week of just kind of touching on it, because it was a really good matchup over the weekend. Number 1, Auburn. Bruce Pearl's Auburn took on number 2, Alabama.
Ooh.
This is crazy. Number 2. You would think like we're talking about college football right now, but the SEC is dominating college basketball right now.
Which is crazy, because they've never really, they've
over the
been
last
decent, but they've never been up at the top consistently.
Exactly. The last 3 or 4 years, they've really been building, but now it's insane. I believe there's 4 or 5 in the top 10, and then or at least like 3 or 4 in the top 10, and then 8 teams in the top 25.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. And Auburn, they're looking like clear, locked in number 1 seed right now.
Wow. I wish I had looked into this more, but I have not gotten into NCAA men's basketball much yet. But I am looking forward to now, as March Madness is approaching ever so quickly.
Well, one reason I get into it is because of the
number
23 ranked Jayhawks. Wow, it's been rough, man. we got a game against BYU tonight, who's 17-8, pretty much our same record. And if we lose, there's no doubt we're getting knocked out of the top 25. I can't think of the last time KU's been out of the top 25.
Let me ask you this. Is this all cause and effect, so to speak, from the NIL?
I don't believe it's NIL. I think it's more of like the transfer portal, which is like...
It's kind of the same thing,
the egg and the chicken kind of thing. But I think a lot of it more so has a lot to do with the transfers coming in, and these guys, they don't have time to gel together with football. We've seen that too. You're getting smaller schools that can make it happen in a year, and other big storied programs like Alabama fall off. And KU bringing in Hunter Dickinson, it's been 2 years now. There's great talent on this team, but they just can't play together. They all act like they're scared to shoot. It's rough. It is we lost to Utah the other day, man.
Dude, Utah, those Utes.
Yeah, that's exactly
Careful.
right.
Other news, live right now, number 2 Florida is taking on Oklahoma. They are 46-24 at halftime. So
Florida's got that dude that's like 7'6".
yeah, he looks like a not real human.
Like
he
a
looks like an
white
alien.
Wimby.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just doesn't look right.
Looks like the creature from Alien Romulus, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I feel sorry for that guy. But, he's going to be in the NBA, so I can't really complain.
He's got his team in the top 5.
There you go. So what else do you want to speak on else on this?
That's it. You want to go to Hard in the Paint?
Yeah, dude, let's go hard in that paint. I think there's a Waka Flocka Flame song called Hard in the Paint. I might steal that for the intro, so we'll see. I do like this intro, though. It's very nice.
I think this one's good.
Gives me goosebumps when I hear the Murray line.
3 seconds left. Why they not battling? Jumper Murray.
Such an epic shot. He 55 points the other day. 55, man. He's holding up like I don't even know why.
55.
Amazing. He's been on fire. What a way to go into the All-Star break.
Yep, they are on the up and up.
Yep.
I saw Murray at this point, I think, after he got injured and came back, averaging like over 23 points per game.
Yep.
What was this?
Still not an All-Star.
6 assists and 4 rebounds. But yes, still no All-Star as Jokic continues to
Be the
never
All-Star.
have anybody on the team that is also an All-Star.
Yes.
But meanwhile, we have LeBron pulling himself out at the last minute and then still walking out with the team to take pictures in their uniforms. And he's dressed in street clothes.
Didn't even have effort to put on the uniform. I'm glad you brought this up, man, because I actually wanted to just kind of go on a little rant with it. I know we're going to call him in a few minutes, but this is just actually, I don't know, man. I can't believe that they just keep letting this happen. Maybe I retweeted. I can't remember where I put it, but
oh God,
yeah. Okay, here it is. MJ would have never.
Oh yeah,
yeah. MJ would have played through the pain. We know there's no pain. It's LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's dirty to announce it like an hour before the game. And then here's my favorite one. Bro has no care in the world that he robbed another player of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. No regret, no shame. Just shrugs his shoulders. The most out-of-tune person I have ever seen. Please retire and stop ruining this wonderful game, LeBron. I said it best, dude. You are ruining this game. I can't stand LeBron.
I mean, I hate to say it. Jokic does also kind of play into this because he also could give 2 shits about being there.
But he's out there.
But he's there.
Exactly.
So I'll give him that. But, I mean, I think he took like 2 shot attempts in the first game or something like that. Yeah. He doesn't really care. And it's why would you?
Look what KD said. He said, just cancel it. Yeah. Everybody's miserable. This is getting to the point of the NFL Pro Bowl, and it's ridiculous. But the recognition still means a lot to these other players. I mean, there's other guys from the West that definitely probably deserve this. And with him just announcing it an hour before the game, it's such a dick move.
It is. It
really
just
wanted to keep that title streak.
Well, he technically ended the streak, though, because since he didn't play, it stops now at 20 years. So 20 years he's played in the All-Star game, but it doesn't continue from here on. But yeah, I agree. It's just so ridiculous to me to be like, that's the thing too, is like everything's so about him. I saw somebody else bring up, like even if Kobe was here, he would never allow people around him to take it like lightly.
It's so weird you say that because I saw this story the other day and I thought this was really cool because, It was just an amazing Kobe story. It was the last year MJ was in the league. It was his last All-Star game, and he was on the Wizards, and Vince Carter got voted to the starter role, and the coach and everybody wanted, and Vince as well, he wanted to give up his starter role so that MJ would go out there. MJ declined. He was like, no, man, you deserve it. That's yours. And Vince wouldn't go out onto the court. The only way that MJ accepted that starter role was for Vince Carter to sit out. So MJ plays, then hits the game-tying shot or to take the lead. It was the game-tying shot, I think, with 4.1 seconds left. And then Kobe gets fouled. And then Isaiah Thomas goes to Kobe and says, listen, man, just miss both shots. That way MJ has the last made shot. It's a great story. and they said this was the best part about the
Kobe's
post.
like, I ain't missing no shot.
The look he gave to the coach, he just looked at him like, please. Goes on, hits both free throws, goes into double overtime, and Kobe leads the West to the win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of competitiveness that we miss, man. I mean, damn, I miss
Well,
Kobe.
it's hard anymore. And like they thought this new way of doing it with like the 4 teams, like the Shaq team, the Chuck team, the OGs and the Rising Stars or whatever, however they did it. I didn't watch any of this. It was a joke. Anything I've heard about it was, it was basically a Kevin Hart like comedy special for the majority of
and
the
Mr.
time.
Beast, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Mr.
there
Beast.
was 2 hours and 24 minutes of
Commercials
other airtime,
and stuff,
commercials
yeah.
and stuff like that, and then 33 minutes of game time.
Yeah.
What are we
At
doing?
one point, they stopped one of the matches at like 10-1 and took a 20-minute break to basically just like, give thanks to the TNT crew.
Wow,
And they
okay.
stopped the game for 20 minutes and then came back. And then after the Jokic, their first game, there was like a half-hour break in between that game and the next game.
Yeah.
And they asked Jokic, like, what'd you do in that time? He's like, sat around and got tight. He's like, that's basically what I did. I got warmed up and then sat around and waited.
It's ridiculous,
And
man.
it's like, how am I supposed to go out and compete again?
It's a complete circus.
Yeah, it really was. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It was a circus.
And we are going to ask, we're going to call him right now, and we're going to ask Beal about it because he is an avid, this is the guy that plays NBA fantasy. He's the only friend I know that plays NBA fantasy, man.
I've tried in the beginning when
Yeah.
fantasy got real big, DraftKings and all that stuff. Never worked out. I was like, I don't understand it.
Remember we used to do a long time ago, this is probably 3 or 4 years ago. Remember we used to do daily matchups on DraftKings?
Yeah, and then we just quit because we were like, we don't understand it.
Well, it's not only that, it's like so hard to keep up. I mean, we were doing it like maybe once every 3 days or something, but like, yeah, it's just a lot. So
it is. So let's get Alex on the line.
Yep.
Mr. Beal will be joining us here shortly.
What's up, guys?
What is up, Mr. Alex Beal? How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm so happy you're watching Arrested Development.
Oh, thanks, dude. Nice. Yeah, I've really been enjoying getting back into it. I forgot how good it was.
My friends and I, when it came back, because there was a hiatus for
Yeah.
5-6 years, I think, we had an Arrested Development party where we all went to my
Nice.
buddy's house and watched, I think, all of them.
Well,
yeah,
like
man.
I was telling Chad, it's easy just to start knocking them off, man. All of a sudden, you've watched like half a season, you know?
Right.
What's up, Beal? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, guys. I can't wait to discuss NBA with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So the last time we had you on, we'll give a little fill in for our listeners here. Since then, Beal has joined a new podcast called Counter Option. Do you want to fill our listeners in on like what you guys talk about on there? Mainly college football, right?
Yeah, it's mainly college football. It's my buddy Tyler, who's a huge Oklahoma fan, and then my other buddy Joe, who's a Nebraska fan. So huge college football people. So naturally, they needed, a Jayhawk fan
That's
to
right.
join.
Sounds about right.
But really, they kind of needed someone that wasn't like tuned in as much as they were. I mean, these guys are, Chad's listened. I mean, they just know so much about college football.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, recruiting and offensive coordinators named from West Virginia and all this. And I think they kind of needed to make it a little unnichey. And again, it was a great podcast before me, probably better, but I just kind of wanted to join. And one day we just all started talking. We realized we recorded a 3-hour pod just talking about college football and a little bit of NFL, and we'll definitely get into the draft stuff later. So it's a fun time.
So you guys aren't limiting yourself to just college football now that you're a part of it. It's going to kind of branch out a little bit.
I always say I'm an NBA guy, NFL guy, and then college football is like my mistress.
Okay.
I'm with her from August to December. Don't think about her anytime after that. So I'm trying to make it probably more broad, more NFL, definitely the draft. I'm a draft nerd. I know Joe on the podcast is too, and Tyler is too, because every Oklahoma player seems to always gets drafted. So I'm trying to make it a little more broad, and I think we're still kind of working it out.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
Everybody can find you guys on Spotify. Are you guys on Apple too?
I think we're on everything. We have a great Twitter account. I should have been more prepared. I'll bring it up here in a couple minutes. That Joe runs, and he's hilarious. He's always tweeting at college football people, especially recruiter. I mean, the fans when they talk about recruiting, they're so passionate. So we like to have some fun on there. It's C option pod on Twitter or on X.
Awesome. I think we need to follow you. I don't think we're following you guys yet. We'll definitely.
We will be here in just a second.
That's right.
Bam! Look at that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's tough to kind of get into college basketball this season. That's what we were just talking about, huh, Beal?
Your team's
I'm not prepared to talk about that.
No, and that's why we're not going to.
I didn't know Florida was that good until about 10 minutes ago when you guys were talking.
Oh yeah, they're dominating right now. So
they have a giant on their team.
They do. The guy's 7'6" or whatever he is.
Yeah, that's
nuts.
true. But let's get to the nails of this, man. You are a total NBA nerd. Let's get your takes, man. We're at the halfway point. We got some pre-awards, some assumptions. Let's get to the big one. Who is your pick for MVP? Is it SGA or Jokic?
I think they're gonna give it to SGA because his name is not Jokic. It's kind of like, LeBron probably should have won way more MVPs, and Kobe only won one.
Which
I
is
think
very
people
surprising.
are kind of tired. Right. Yeah, I think they're tired of giving it to Jokic. But, I mean, isn't this – you guys are more the Nuggets guy than me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Jokic's best season of the last 5, right?
Yeah, I have the numbers actually pulled up here because obviously we're a little biased on it, and I totally agree with you. Actually, just to get it out of the way, that's why I think they'll give it to SGA is the voter fatigue for Jokic. And it's the points per game. So right now, Jokic is averaging 29.8, assists 10.2, rebounds 12.6. The win-loss record's 36-19. That also hurts. And then SGA's at 32.5 points per game, 6.1 assists per game, and then 5.1 rebounds per game. And then obviously the number one team in the West, unstoppable at 44-10. So, and those 50-point games, that's what's been killing Jokic's chances too.
And the point differential from Oklahoma City. They're not just winning. They're doing like the anti-Chiefs, right? Where they're beating the you-know-what out of all of these teams. I mean, they've just been dominant. They're the best three-point shooting team, or one of them, the best defensive. I mean, every measurable as a team goes to Oklahoma City. If Shea doesn't play a couple games, they're still going to win. If Jokic is out for the Nuggets.
This team isn't even a playing team.
Yeah.
I mean, are they beating the Hornets? Right, Melo's going to have 60 if he's playing. Right,
there's some other good players on the Hornets too.
Yeah, Miller's hurt now, unfortunately.
But
Bridges,
that's just
Bridges
it.
is pretty good.
But
so again, it's fatigue. It's like I mean, maybe this isn't the best example of like where we're at right now, but 365 days ago, Mahomes would be the best player in the league, right? Lamar came off of an MVP season. C-Mac had a great season. But he's not going to win the MVP every single year, right?
Yeah.
Same with Jokic and the Nuggets. Again, he's going to put up the great numbers. He's definitely the best player in the league. Like, no one would say Shea's better than him. But they're just tired of voting for him. I think Larry Bird has 4. So if Jokic wins again, he's already tied Larry Bird.
Yep.
I mean, it's historical what he's doing. And I think, the NBA, especially the older generation who are still like Bill Russell this, George Mike and this. I think they're kind of just like, oh my gosh, let's settle down. Let's not give Jokic his 4th MVP because again, remember they barely gave him his 3rd.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give it to Shea just because it's easy. He'll get his 1. I know. So that's what I think is going to happen. Do I agree with it? Probably not. I mean, Jokic is the best player in the league.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Well, that's the crazy thing, too. I mean, this guy's already won the MVP 3 times, and he's having his best year. And statistically, the offensive rating that he's averaging right now has never been done before in the NBA. So he's statistically having one of the best offensive seasons the NBA has ever seen. So when you say stuff like that, and then you're just like, yeah, but Shea's still going to get it. I mean, I get it. We saw this happen with Embiid. It's just insane to say, when you say it out loud, to be like, yeah, no, it makes sense that Shea should be the MVP, especially when you're saying about Jokic being literally the best player in the world. It's, It's just stuff like that where it makes you feel like the MVP voting in and of itself is kind of just bunk at this point.
Yep.
I mean, it's a great story, the Oklahoma City Thunder, with pretty much all drafted players. Obviously, Shea got traded there. But most of those guys are just they're just, the thing about them, they don't even have a starting lineup. They mix and match their starters just to keep everyone fresh. Obviously, Shea and Williams start, Dort's in and out, but they have guys like Isaiah Jones and Aaron Wiggins who pop in, and Cason Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
They pop in and out of the lineup. One day one will start, one day the other. And it's just a great story. They're such a great team. And I don't even know their coach's name. I always blank on his name.
I know.
So it's easy to give it to Shea because of all that, just because it's of the story.
I think it's a former Nuggets assistant. Hold on.
Yeah. Mark something?
Sorry. Mark Daignault. That is not who I thought it was. And I hope I said that.
And that's why I can't remember, because it's like such a random name.
It is very random. Right? Well, I mean, that guy, you just look at what they have in terms of assets the next few years. I mean, they have 2 first-round picks next year. Then they have their own first-round pick the next 2 years, or 3 years. Then 2029, they have their first-round pick and Denver's first-round pick. And it's just like, man, this team is just going to continue to stockpile and get deeper and deeper. And Chet Holmgren hasn't even really played that much this year.
They just came back recently.
And they just gave Caruso an extension, and he doesn't even start.
Yeah, and that's such a good point. Everybody's like a really good role player there, and it says a lot. Like when Shea gets like interviewed after games, they do that thing where it's the whole team that does the interview, and they kind of joke around and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I love that.
It's not my most favorite thing.
Well, no, I think it does say I've got a lot of respect for it, because there's a lot of
it is like a team building thing.
It's a very much they're much more of a tight knit unit than a lot of other teams.
Well, they're so young. That's why it's cool. It'll get stale in 3 years when they haven't won, if they haven't won anything.
Yeah, and they're a small market team. Oklahoma City. That's not much.
It's not
going
like
on there.
The old Supersonics.
It's not like it's Towns and Brunson doing it in Madison Square Garden. It's like
exactly.
Let's get to the next one, man. All right, that's a great team. How about your pick for the finals?
I just put in a plus 1,700 wager on the Nuggets to win.
Oh, nice!
I like it.
Oh yeah, coming on the right podcast.
Yeah, but I promise I'm not pandering. It kind of like our last conversation we were just having. If you just look at the West standings, right? Thunder, they're young. Shea's great in the playoffs. The last year, even Jalen Williams disappeared. I'm not going to pick them because I want to see Jalen Williams have a good series. He hasn't had one yet. He's an all-star this year. He's a very good player, but I want to see it in the playoffs. Memphis, Morant plays every other game. Nuggets, they're third now in the West, 8 or 9 in a row. Why would I not pick them in the West? I mean, no one else, I think, can guard Jokic.
No.
They're the best player in the league. I'm going to pick them. And the East is a little more interesting. I mean, the Cavs are a small market team, great story. I've seen Mitchell do in the playoffs. I haven't seen Garland. I haven't seen Mobley do it. They just traded for Hunter. I want to see how that looks. How can you not pick Boston?
Yeah.
2 of the top 10, 15 players in the league with Tatum and Brown. And I hate to say this, but I hate the Celtics more than anything in life. I do think it's going to be a Nuggets, Celtics, and coin flip. Whoever has home court will win.
Ooh, probably going to be the Celtics.
Yeah.
Because I don't see the Nuggets getting up past, third.
Especially last year when we were at, what was that? Not Torchy's Tacos. It was Cochino Taco last year when they lost to the Spurs. I remember that, man. And that totally, they were trying to get the 1 seed, and then it just, it kind of fell apart in that game.
Was that the Devontae Graham? He's the reason,
yes.
right?
Yes, I know, dude. That was what made it tough. Old Jayhawk, man. I was like, come on. You're killing me.
I know. I don't even think he's in the league this year. I
don't think so.
But, I mean, speaking of the East, it will be interesting to see what this Cavaliers team does once the playoffs come. because they have been just on a tear since the season started. I know Boston's definitely going to be the most, grizzled team in terms of the playoffs, but I am interested to see. That'll probably be one hell of Eastern Conference Finals if it's between the Cavaliers and the Celtics.
Yeah, don't count out the Knicks. Brunson at the Garden is awesome. I mean, I would it's a toss-up between if I'd rather have Mitchell or Brunson, in a game. They're both just so good. But the difference really comes down to Towns versus whoever the second guy is for the Cavs. And they have a lot of options, which makes them, hence why they've only lost 10 games. But Garland's still young. Mobley is very young. And to the Knicks, I mean, Towns is having his best season, and he's shooting over 40% on his threes with a lot of volume there. Don't look past the Knicks. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking at the top three right here. Out of all three of them, out in their last 10 games, they're all 8-2. So they all went to the All Star break with a good streak going. So
yeah, and there's really not a fourth team. I mean, the Bucks. With Giannis, can't count him out, but, Lillard's old. He can't guard. He's not going to be able to guard Mitchell and Brunson in the playoffs. Yeah. They just traded away Middleton, and they got back Kuzma. So Kuzma's you're going to be your third option. I mean, that wasn't good. That wasn't good in 20.
It'll be interesting to see what Milwaukee does if they have another, first-round knockout in the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis is on the trading block come next year.
Yep.
I know. That's going to be the thing, but, the only teams with a lot of draft capital, and I think like 20 something of the picks of the next draft, or maybe the next two first rounds, are like only owned by like 6 or 8 teams or something.
Yeah,
it's
everybody's
like
traded away all their first round picks.
Yeah, like 40% of the draft next first round picks are like by like 6 or 7 teams. So hence you said that earlier, the Thunder.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets don't have a first round pick until 2031. Which is wild. Yeah.
It's a long ways away.
But hey, we got a championship, and we're in the window, so we just got to hope the Lakers quit acquiring all these big players, unfortunately.
Yeah, who would want that?
No, just you, I think.
Not you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, Chris, you want to ask him that last question we have?
Yeah, let me ask you this last question, sir. Since I just brought it up, as a Lakers fan, how do you feel about the new look Lakers?
My wife is so happy I get to discuss the Luka trade with someone else besides her.
Yeah.
Because it's all I've been talking about, especially since the Chiefs loss. I have been in better spirits because of this trade. Again, the fact that the Mavericks called them about trading Luka, like not the other way around, is baffling. I mean, I can't imagine being a Mavericks fan right now. I mean, they didn't even shop them around. I mean, we were just talking about those first round picks.
Yeah.
One of those other teams that has all those first round picks, the Nets or someone, they would have traded
Oklahoma
4 or 5 of them
Yep.
to get Luka. I mean,
yeah.
They got 5 first round picks, the Nets, for Miles Bridges. I can't imagine how many of the picks.
I think Rudy Gobert was also up there, 4 or 5 first round picks.
Yeah, he was. I think he was at 4 or 5. I mean, and that was a crazy, like, everyone trashed. It was your guys' ex-GM, right? That's Connolly, right?
Yep. Connolly, who's now over there in Minnesota.
Right. And again, so I'm not going to be one of these Lakers fans that's like, hey, like now we're going to be a contender and watch out Nuggets, watch out Memphis, watch out Oklahoma, watch out Rockets. No, I mean, their center is Jackson Hayes. And their backup is some guy, I always forget his name. And again, this is my team, and I can't even figure out what his name is. They just signed Alex Lynn.
Yep, that's what I was about to ask about. Yeah, because I mean, they're just so desperate. They're going across seas to try to get somebody.
Right, but it's not about this year, right?
No,
you make the trade 100 out of 100 times to get Luka, and you worry about the rest later. Their defense is going to stink this year. LeBron's having a good year. I mean, he's age 40, and again, Chad knows I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. I totally agree with what you guys were saying about him earlier with the All-Star game.
Yeah.
But again, I don't care. I'm so happy you get a top 5 player in the league. You put him in the biggest market in the NBA, and all you had to give up was one first-round pick. Well, it's going to be, pick 23, 25,
yeah,
right?
which is basically like a third-round pick if you were talking about like the NFL or something,
Exactly. I mean,
Maybe fourth.
Luka is an automatic. He's not Tim Duncan, right? Obviously, Tim Duncan's a top 10 player ever, but Tim Duncan, like, no matter what, was always going to be 500. They're always going to make the playoffs. Luka, if he plays, 65 games, that team's always going to make the playoffs because he's so good.
Which is about what he averages, and that was my big thing with the trade with Anthony Davis to Chad was he's averaged 40 games the last 4 years, and meanwhile Luka's averaged 65. And granted, we didn't have the foresight we did then, but then Anthony Davis goes down with a hip adductor. Like
made me eat
second
crow.
game or first game is the first game, and so now he's out for a month, and now already the Lakers look like geniuses. And there's been GMs around the league that have come out and said that was a gift from Nico to Rob there. So I hope you guys enjoy it because I am definitely jealous. I was always hoping that maybe down the line that Luka and Jokic would be paired up as their good buddies, but that is no more now.
Well, he hasn't signed the extension. That's
That's a good point.
As a Chiefs fan, as a Royals fan, where again, obviously the Chiefs have had a lot of success lately, but I still grew up in Kansas City where we sucked majority of my life. Or choked. Like I'm always going to be a little pessimistic. He needs to sign the extension, but even if he doesn't, a year and a half of Luka for Anthony Davis, who just got hurt, first round pick, you make that trade a million times, and it's gambling at that point, right?
Yeah, and clearly it didn't seem like the Anthony LeBron thing was going to continue working the way it had been. You got the one championship out of it, and I think that's just basically what you got to chalk it up to and just kind of cut your losses, which they did. And they are much better off for it now. So,
well, the funny thing is, I mean, they were playing really well, and Anthony Davis has been. I mean, again, he was out the night that Luka got traded. They were playing at New York.
Yeah.
And again, if it was like 2 days later and Anthony Davis was out one more game, Dallas doesn't make that trade. Anthony Davis has been actually playing a lot of basketball. Last year, I think he played 76 games.
Oh, yeah, I think he did get in the 70.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, he played majority of the games going forward. So he's been healthy this year and last year. And then, of course, this happens, which blew up in their face. The funny thing is, it's like, how did Anthony Davis pass this physical with Dallas, but the guy that the Lakers tried to get, Mark Williams from Charlotte, failed it? I mean, Anthony Davis was hurt during the trade process, and it still went through. So there's a lot of just crazy things that have gone a lot of the Lakers' way, which,
Well, I'm really fascinated to see how it's going to transition into the last leg of the season because, I mean, we saw they were on a 6 game winning streak, and that first game back with that first game that Luka debuted, he did pretty good. I mean, he just had limited minutes and everything like that, but they beat the Jazz. The Jazz are pretty bad. And then the next night they go out there and then they lose to the Jazz. So wondering how long it's going to take for everything to kind of gel together.
He's not healthy. You can tell by watching those games, and he's out of shape. But it took the Heat when they got LeBron. I mean, I think they were in their first 16, 17 games, so they were 8-9 or 9-8, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, they stink." And then look, they made 4 straight finals. So it takes some time for two ball dominant players like LeBron and Luka, and even Austin Reeves dominates the ball a lot too, to kind of all gel. It's going to take some time, but again, it isn't about this year. I don't even care. Again, we get swept by the Nuggets every year. I'm okay with that this year. We have Luka, hopefully for the next 10 years of my life. And Luka loved Kobe. He loved him. Luka wasn't always a LeBron guy, apparently. I mean, he wasn't anti-LeBron, but he idolized Kobe. So I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to sign just because of that. I mean, how do you leave Lakers? That'd be kind of weird. Unless you were going to play with Jokic, I guess I would probably do that. But other than that, I'm very, very excited about it.
Did you see that new mural that somebody put up in LA of Luka and Kobe?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, 10 people have shown me that.
I bet so. I figured so, man. That's cool. Yeah, they redid that photo that they got together of Kobe's last night there, and then they put a Lakers jersey on him. So that was really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great Instagram
cool.
page called like Kobe Murals or something. It's of all the Kobe murals that are now all over the world. It's a really good Instagram account.
Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Whoops. I pushed the wrong button. We're good. Well, I don't know, Chad, what else you got? I know that you had one more question. I think I glossed over one. Did you want to go through that one?
Well, I kind of just wanted to find out real quick. I think we got maybe 4 or 5 minutes if we got your time, Beal. You told me that you are not a fan of the All Star game, and we kind of pitched this idea that we had seen over the interwebs today, where the NBA should like copy something like what's going on with hockey right now that's succeeding so well, which is like doing a USA versus France versus Canada, and then maybe mixing like an Eastern Europe team like together with Serbia, Slovenia, and something like that. What do you think?
I mean, whatever they're doing now is not working. They're going to have to keep evolving to keep people watching. But the All-Star game, I mean, Chad, you mentioned it literally earlier in the podcast, the Michael Jordan Kobe thing, which was great. I remember watching that live. But after that, there's not been any memorable games, and that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I think they've just – I mean, who is this game for? Is it for me?
It's supposed to be for
I don't
the
want to watch it. I'm the one watching the games on Tuesday nights, right? I'm the one mad that there's no NBA on tonight. So it's not for me. Is it for kids? Then
Mr. Beast stuff makes you think it is.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Again, it's a good idea of separating those 4 things. Chad told me about that earlier. But they're going to have to do something. I don't know. These players just don't care. So why would we care?
Yeah, that's what all these analysts are saying. That's what the whole sports world's saying. So I think, and KD came out and said it. He wasn't shy. We all know about that. He was like, just cancel it. We're all miserable. And I think that's something that they need to consider because they're just wasting everybody's time. I mean, the biggest slap on the face is the 33 minutes of game time versus 2.5. I think there was just 2.5 hours of other promotions, people talking and stuff, and then another like 45 minutes of commercials. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was tough to watch. So I don't blame you one bit. If they did move to this format, I think I would be a little more interested. But yeah, like you said, I think we'd have to see the players actually be engaged for it. Play some defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an NBA hole. That's what I call myself. So I watch everything NBA, and I didn't watch 1 second of anything this weekend on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Sarah and I did not have big plans this weekend. So it's not like I was out and about.
Well, it's bad when they got to bring a guy up who's probably only been like hanging around in the G League for the All-Star game, and Max McClung to come up and win the uneventful dunk contest for the 3rd year in a row, where he makes more in that one night than he does in his season playing for the Orlando Magics or whatever they are, the G League team down there.
Yeah, that's like if Adam Ray was like, "Hey, Alex, I heard you're funny. You should open up for me at Dr. Phil this weekend."
Exactly.
Like,
and that's what
no one wants to see
he is
that.
really good.
I don't
at
want to see
and that's what I was
going to
say. He jumped over a car. I mean, it was sick.
And all of his dunks, I heard he got like on the 1st or 2nd try. Yeah. So I give the kid credit, but it's just sad when like that's what you have to do when you're like, we're gonna bring this kid up from the G League, and you're like, he's not even a rising star. He can't even make a roster other than being good at dunking.
Well, we'll see if anything comes of it because we had Ja Morant, and this is just a tweet where he was like, oh, like he sees Matt McClung.
It was basically because of Max. Yeah. They were like, hey.
Like we were getting, there was a movie called White Men Can't Jump. Like, what's going on here,
They
boys?
clearly can now.
Brothers, let's come together. So he hit up Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, and all
said, we got to do this.
Yep, each one of them. I saw Aaron Gordon just responded today, so I don't know. If they need to get the stars back into it, I mean, just... I called it the circus. I don't blame you one bit, Beal. That's how I felt with the NFL.
I didn't watch any of it either.
I watched 0% of the NFL Pro Bowl thing because, they're making a mockery of it.
I watched the punting thing, and that actually was very entertaining, and I was mad at how entertaining it was. Because I was like, damn, they're like
that was actually the part I hated the
punting
most.
Pong. It's like beer pong with punting.
Oh, that part. Yeah.
No, not the catching the punts.
Things evolve. Things evolve. I mean, Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. I mean, things change. The All-Star games aren't what they used to be. Right?
Netflix used to send us DVDs in the mail.
I miss those days.
Yeah, I mean, things don't always have to, it's literally just to market the league, and they're doing everything for us to make fun of it. And we're the people that they should be catering to. We watch the NBA, and we're not even watching it. Why even have it? I mean, I don't think there's a lot of things that you can do to fix it unless they give them a lot of money, or they do that thing where, like the MLB tried to do 20 years ago, where, hey, whoever wins gets full court. Well, if you're Cade Cunningham for the East, you're not going to risk tearing your ACL because the Pistons, who are actually kind of good this year, but they're not going to be in the finals, right? Yeah. So there's not a lot of things to do. It just name the All-Stars, maybe do like a mid-season, hey, here's what the first, second, and third teams are. If you're a first-team NBA player, here, kudos to you. You get $50,000, but it doesn't have to be a whole mockery. These players if we want to watch them play more games, let them have this 7 days off. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these players are like a Devin Booker who's like, gosh, I really wish I was just resting right now, not having to go to Oakland to watch, to play 15 minutes in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, Jokic had a great response to it when they asked him about getting voted. He's like, "Yes, thanks a lot for not giving me a break." He's the funniest, man. I love it. Yeah. Well, I don't blame you one bit, Beal. Like, we all kind of feel like that, and hopefully Adam Silver can try to get this into his crazy shiny bald head and figure it out. But we shall see, man. But stay tuned in, man, because Chris is going to be eating this Nitro thing in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the hockey real quick, and then we're going to get into it. So, yes, and indeed. I also have to pee really bad. So, Beal, thank you so much for hopping on with us, man.
And tell everybody the other podcasts that you join and are a big part of.
Yeah, Counter Option Podcast, mainly college football. Going to get in the drafts up here in a couple of weeks. So, thanks for having me on, guys, and go Lakers.
Go Nuggets. Thanks a lot, Bill. I'll hit you up soon, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
have a good night, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Later. All right, guys. Right now we have more of the Southern River Band, and the name of this song is Little Victories, off of their first album from 2016 called Rumor and Innuendo. It goes something like this.
Significant others, and I've not quite reached my prime. Standing right in front of me, a life of total monotony will blind you till you cannot see. It's the small things, little victories. It's the small things, little victories. significant others. And I've not quite reached my prime. Standing right in front of me, a life of total monotony. We're blinded till you cannot see. It's the small things, little victories. It's the small things, little victories. It's the small things, little victories. Standing right in front of me, a life of total monotony. You're blinded till you cannot see. I'll be working on a theory, but it's one I'm yet to prove. And I feel it for a long time coming. What else do I have to lose? Do you need it? Do you need it? Oh, do you need it? Do you need it? Oh, Lord. Yeah,
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard the Southern River Band, one of my favorite bands of the moment. I do not know them personally, but I really enjoy their music. The name of that song was Little Victories from the album Rumor and Innuendo. And that's something we all need to do in life, you know, just relish those little victories.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got a little victory to talk about as
That's a
well.
good point. Good segue, Mr. Segue.
Segue.
Yes, indeed. Such a weird spelled word.
It is.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my sister Sarah. She had her baby yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, they named her Amelia Rosalisa.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool name.
Rosalisa.
Yes, but her first child, I'm an uncle again.
Nice.
Yeah, I have 3. Well, now this makes almost like 4 but 3 out of 4 of my nieces and nephews are born in February. So after Christmas, she's getting more gifts.
Yeah, they just keep on.
Yeah,
coming.
that's what they're doing to me.
We also had a little birth in our family today, actually.
Awesome.
My niece Haley just had her first child, little Jaden.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so,
Jaden, that's a
we
cool
brought
name.
a boy and a girl into the world
Hell
in the
yes,
last few
man.
days. So.
Nice. That's fantastic.
Good on us
Yeah,
for not
congrats
doing
to
anything.
Haley.
Yes,
right?
Haley.
Yeah.
Yes. And your sister.
Thank you. Congrats, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Congrats to everybody. But now it is time for us to talk about our sponsor.
SDO.
SDO Collectibles.
Yes, indeed.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you are looking to buy or purchase collectibles, make sure you go over to SDO, check out all of their social media, but make sure to check out their eBay page, where they are always posting all the types of new things that they're doing card rips and pack openings and all that stuff. And whenever they open them, they are posting them onto their eBay account where you can go and purchase them.
That's right. They got all kinds of things. They got Pokemon. They got Funko Pops. They got it all.
Yeah, Funko Pop you in the mouth.
Hell yeah.
They also have, it's going to be in March
22nd.
March 22nd is their next big card collectible show, and we will be there. And we will also be, podcasting live.
That's
So
right.
make sure to tune in for that, as we are going to be hopefully interviewing a bunch of people from the collectible show. The guys that put it on are going to probably join us, and they also, I believe, have their own podcast as well. So
they talk about trading collectibles.
Yeah, so we will you'll see maybe a little bit of cross-pollination, so to speak, with them.
That's a good way to put it.
But yes, thank you to SDO Collectibles. Make sure to go and check them out on all things social media. But first and foremost, go follow them on eBay so you get all of the updates when they load new things into that store for you to be buying. So
Indeed.
Yes. Well, we did have one more thing to get into. It's the hockey, but we knew that we were going to be a little bit behind the 8 ball, as we are already 10 minutes technically behind, but we wanted more people to hop on the stream to watch me suffer. So we normally were going to talk about the Four Nations in just like the penalty box, but we kind of decided that the Tkachuk brothers probably need to be honored a little bit more specifically. And the way we're going to do that is bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. John Daly. He's going to grip it, rip it, and hit it hard, man.
Daily.
That's the wrong damn button. I need to move that. All that buildup for nothing. I guess maybe I'm nervous about eating this little gummy. Ooh.
Could be.
Here we go.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing. It's a natural.
2 years in, I'll figure it out eventually, guys. Don't worry.
I hope you don't.
Chad hopes I don't. I keep him on his toes.
Yeah.
But
Needless to say,
yes,
we are giving the Daily Dose of Excellence and the Daily Dogs to the Tkachuk brothers.
Yes, I meant to hit the Daily Dose first, then the Daily Dog. But I'll hit that one more time.
Daily.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes.
And they get it because they took this USA-Canada matchup on Saturday night to the next level right from the get-go.
You know what I have to say?
Let's get it on.
Yes,
We're going
because
to use all of our sound bites for
we're
this
hitting them all
segment. I
tonight.
love it.
In the first 9 seconds of this hockey match, we had 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 fights, both involving Brady and Matthew Tkachuk, which their names spelled weird. There's a T in front of it. It's very confusing. Tkachuk. But yes, the Tkachuk brothers, the new Bash Brothers, the Bash Brothers 2.0, are making the Mighty Ducks tremble in fear as they basically put a hurting on Team Canada. Although after the 3 fights, Canada still, they scored, and they were leading for a while.
Yep.
But the U.S.,
They came back.
like an eagle soaring through the sky, came back, put up 3 unanswered goals, and they now are taking on Canada again for
Thursday
the
night. Thursday night. Epic matchup. Everybody can't wait. This is what we were talking about with All-Star Weekend. This is how you do it. These guys, they have said before, they didn't care about the fights. They didn't care about anything like that because they just care about that flag. And that's kind of what started all of this, is Canada was booing the national anthem. There's a lot of shit going on. Feelings are tense right now.
Yes.
And also,
the perfect storm.
they were following in their father's footsteps because in 1996, Keith Tkachuk, their father, in the Olympics, right, like at some point, I can't remember if it was right at the beginning of the game, he dropped gloves and was trying to fight Mario Lemieux. So, I mean, we all know there's a big rivalry between USA and Canada. When it comes to hockey, because Canadians are, that's their sport.
It's their sport.
It's ice everywhere up there.
Mhm.
Schools, wherever, grocery stores.
They all are playing hockey.
They constantly wear ice skates.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just the way their life is, man.
It's a different
read
world
it.
up there.
Yep.
That's what we've heard. Anyways.
So, yes. And this made it super exciting. These guys, everybody knew it was going to be physical. There was one hit on it was on Sidney Crosby, I think it was.
Oh yeah, in the
where
corner. Yeah, they lit them up.
Just lit them up. I mean, they didn't care about stars. I mean, anybody getting hurt or anything like that. And I mean, you look at these teams. I mean, it's dream team versus dream team. But Canada definitely had the stars where everybody thought he was going to pull it off. You had Cale Makar, Nate Dogg,
Nate McKinnon.
Yep.
Yeah. Sidney Crosby.
Yep.
Devin Taves. Yeah, there's a bunch of good Canadians, most of them Avalanche. So it's been a little bit of a conflicting thing for me because I want the Avalanche to do good. I also don't want the Avalanche to get hurt. So that was kind of my worries. And I'm hoping that nobody gets hurt in this Thursday game above all else, but really just the Avalanche. But yeah, it's basically, the Canadians were the big bads, but the upper hand that the U.S. team has is their goalie in Connor Hellebuck, and he is the best goalie in the league at this current moment. He's in lead to win the Vezina Trophy yet again, and he's just a better goalie than Jordan Binnington. And Jordan Binnington I don't really like because in the Lightning's when the Avalanche were playing the Lightning, he was being a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
He threw a water bottle at Nazem Kadri. And
I remember
he was
that.
being a little girl about things.
Right.
So I don't really like him. And unfortunately, that is the Canadians goalie. And I heard something crazy today. Like, there's only like 20% of goalies in the NHL that are Canadian now. I guess like the Finnish have like some crazy goalie school where a lot of guys are going now.
Well, and that's what I was going to bring about the U.S. I mean, obviously the Russians aren't able to join and stuff like that. You got Ovechkin and stuff, but there's because of the sanctions, we can't have a Russian team. So it is what it is. But you look at the U.S. I mean, hockey's growing, dude. So my cousin Jordan, she lives in Wichita, Kansas. Her son, that's like his sport. He's the goalie, and it's so cool on Facebook seeing him just like so thrilled about it. I see her posting about this game, and he's in it. But like when I was growing up in Parsons, Kansas, I went to like go to an ice skating rink because of like a youth group thing one time. Never did anything for hockey. That was not a thing. And so, I mean, it's growing here. I mean, the U.S. has got Connor Matthews. They have the Kachuk brothers. I mean, they got a squad.
Oh, Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, the Kachuk brothers alone are really good guys. And the thing, too, is a lot of these Canadian hockey players retire here. So their kids grow up here. And so that is one of the things that's happening, too, is that a lot of the Canadian talent is just growing up here, unfortunately, because a lot of those guys retire to Florida, Arizona, where they can go play golf all the time. Then that's where their kids are growing up. So we do kind of have that going. And this is kind of the thing where we have not been the best when it comes to beating Canada. And we might have a chance.
Thursday's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Got to tune in.
It's pretty much
6 p.m. Mountain Standard
coin
Time.
toss right now. So.
I know it. It's tough because one of the best defensemen for the U.S. team got hurt, and then they just went and got Quinn Hughes. Not sure if he's going to be able to play for him or not, but they're trying to get him in there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I do believe it's that time.
I think it's that time, Chad.
I do believe so. Do you have any sound bites ready?
We talked about hitting it, so we're hitting a bunch of them, but we might as well hit this one.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you don't finish last. I'm going to let her know.
Oh. Post your video to YouTube with the hashtag Little Nitro Challenge for a chance to be featured on our website and social media platforms.
Oh, dude, you should do that, man.
Oh, thanks, guys. What a thing.
Yep.
That's lovely.
They're going to share your
glory. It's not even a sticker. It's
not
just a piece of paper.
It's glory. Damn. That should be... It's not a sticker? Dang.
No. What a rip, dude. $10 for a gummy bear.
Well, the memories. That's what you get from it.
Oh, God. This is going to suck balls.
Take your time, man. There's no rush. It's only
There we go,
6:48.
guys. Little Nitro gummy bear. Here he is in his package.
It looks tasty. It looks like it's cherry
Looks
flavored.
like a cinnamon gummy bear.
Yep. You know what's ironic is like gummy bears. That's like one of my favorite candies. I love gummy bears.
Okay.
But I can pass on this one.
You want nibble of the year?
Mm.
Come on, just a nibble.
I feel like it doesn't matter which part you get. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, no, it's the whole thing's going to be terrible.
I don't want to take that away from Alex. Like if you don't eat the whole thing.
Smell it.
Yeah, I definitely need to smell it. Let's see it.
It smells terrible.
Dude, that smells like chemicals.
It smells like shit.
Like DuPont invented this or something.
Meryl said don't touch it. I'm just going to eat it out of this.
It does say...
Well, I mean, if you read this, let me just read this to you. I'm getting a little shaky.
I don't blame you, man.
It's extremely spicy and has the potential to cause skin and or mouth irritation.
Yeah, like don't rub it
It
around.
says don't put it in your mouth, basically.
I would almost just swallow it. Maybe that'd be better.
No, I gotta chew it. I ain't no bitch.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All right, guys.
You want a countdown?
Sure, give me a countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have dropped the bomb on Nagasaki. Okay, 6:49. It's being ingested. I'm going to start a little...
It's gross.
I bet it is.
Hard. Alex, you're right. Very hard.
Very hard?
It's not a very chewy gummy.
Really strange. Anything yet?
Well, I swallowed it.
I
Okay.
don't blame you.
Okay.
You're already starting to sweat quite a bit.
Whoa.
You want me to open up the LaCroix?
No, I'm good. So far, it's not that bad.
Really? Well, you still have to chug the whole milk. It's just...
I mean, it's hot. My tongue is on fire.
You don't seem that bad, though.
Whoa.
They're turning to like a psychedelic
It's coming like in
experience.
waves.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I do remember him saying it was like waves. It's probably good that you haven't drank anything yet.
Yeah, I might hold off for a bit.
I think he had already drank like half a gallon of milk at that point.
Yeah, he got scared real quick.
Yep. Doing pretty good.
I mean, so far, it's not that bad, dude.
That's nuts.
I'm worried.
Well, maybe it's
I
kind
mean,
of
it
like
sucks.
a
It's not
delayed
good.
bump. Either that or Alex is just kind of he's getting through it.
It's hot.
Which slightly switches the fan? I always forget.
Don't push the first one.
Not that
Oh,
one.
I think it's off. So I think we gotta pull it.
Are you sure? Nope. Not. There we go. Thank you. I don't even know which one it is.
Yeah, so far, dude, it's not the worst thing in the world. I honestly feel like the Caliente at Rico's it might be hotter than this, but I'm not entirely sure.
Maybe it is kind of like a delayed bomb or something. I don't know. Do you feel it in your chest any?
I mean, my insides are warm.
I bet so.
It's definitely hot. But I don't know.
But the fan's helping a little.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for it to get really, really bad and scary.
Well, maybe this just kind of goes to show you. Maybe Alex is just kind of a bitch.
I mean, it's
he
not
had a really
fun.
tough time. You got him the same one too, right?
Yeah, there's only one.
Dude, he had a really tough time.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I feel like it's gonna get worse.
Maybe like on your drive home, it's just like you got to pull over.
Oh, I just gotta poop on the side of the road. Well, I'm kind of bummed that if this is all it is.
I can't believe, like, is it starting to go away?
Not really. I mean, it's still a constant burn, but it's not like
That's nuts, man. I mean, I've had that Rico's burrito, and I eat hot stuff all the time. I almost wish I would have had half of it or something.
yeah.
Probably wouldn't have been. It would have been even, less potent.
Oh, there's some burps.
But that was a little heated.
Got some burps going.
Yep.
Right now, yeah, my mouth is just on fire. I'm sweating, but that doesn't take much to make me sweat, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true. Yeah. Out of 10, what do you think it would?
I mean, right now I'd put it at like a 6.
No
7.
way.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
I kind of feel bad everybody tune in for this if this is all it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
think,
I'd shoot it.
Yeah. I think that's why we got to change up the fantasy football punishment next year.
Chad really wants public embarrassment.
Yeah, and I've said it before that that guy that went to Applebee's with a blow up doll. I think that's
You
the
think
way
that's
to go.
what we gotta do?
That's hilarious, man.
It is a lot funner, and Chad had a good point. You know, we are probably going to start having heart conditions and stuff here in the next few years.
Yep.
It could kill one of us.
Maybe not this one, and maybe not seem too bad, but I know there's some people that refuse to do it, so there's that.
We did have somebody refuse,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you're only 4 minutes into it right now.
yeah.
I think next time you see Alex, you can definitely be like, please.
I mean, it's got to be hotter than this, dude.
It says 9 million Scoville. Damn, you opened up that milk too.
Yeah, I know. I don't even feel like I need it.
That's nuts, man.
And now I feel like this is very uneventful. All this for nothing.
Well, hey, you did it, man. You at least served up and, did your fun.
We're going to sit here till 7, but yeah, as of right now, like I can keep talking to you guys. Like it's hot. Don't get me wrong. Like my tongue I'm sweating. It's clear. I'm glistening. But it's not like unbearable.
You know what I hate when I've had really hot stuff is like you feel it in these glands back here.
It's kind of like the sour stuff. Like when you get something super sour and your like jaw like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you're not going to throw up. I mean, I was literally worried.
I was
calling
worried
an
about
ambulance
puking.
or something.
I wasn't worried about dying. But I mean, there's always that thought, I'm like, I've had a good run. What if a gummy bear gets me?
Yeah, that's a good story.
But right now, dude, this is crazy. I feel like this should be way worse than it is. Like, it's not unbearable.
Yeah, it says, can you go a full 5 minutes without relief? Yeah, you just hit 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I'm probably going to have a terrible poop tomorrow, but...
Oh, that's going to be explosive.
I'm sorry this wasn't more eventful, guys, because we're going to sit here for another 5 minutes, but I don't even know what we're going to talk about.
No, it's okay, man. I got Jersey Mike's on the way, so that's what I'm thinking about.
When's your Jersey Mike's going to get here?
Yeah, we had it delivered, so it should be here pretty soon.
All right. Well, I'll sit here for till then, but
yeah.
As of right now, I could have done the show after eating this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's why we did this at the end.
Yeah, I could have. That might have been funner. Because at this point, it at least would have been a little bit
more challenging trying to focus and stuff, too. Damn, that's so crazy. Maybe you just have a really high tolerance for super hot stuff. I mean, when you eat pho, you put a lot of sriracha and stuff in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do love hot stuff, but I just felt like I'd be dying a lot more by now. Like, I didn't even get the hiccups or anything.
I mean, that's how I felt with that Rico's when you get that caliente.
The caliente, I could barely eat
You
it.
can barely put your tongue on it, and it's just impossible.
I ate 3/4 of it and had to take like a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
And then try to eat some more, and I was like, it's not worth it.
They gave us, they had a training we had to do a couple days ago, and we had Rico's burritos. I think it was last Thursday. But, man, I thought once again, it was like the bacon ones, and I am so about Gomez now. Like, that's...
See, the thing I love about Rico's is I don't know where they get their bacon from, but you'll get
You like that? That's
dude,
why I
you'll
didn't like
get
it.
like a hunk of bacon like that, and I'm just like, that's...
It's huge. It doesn't even seem like bacon.
Sometimes it's too big. I'll give you that.
It's like thick, like if you were to,
it's like a hunk.
When
and
we
you're
killed
like,
wild
that's not
hogs,
bacon.
yeah, when I was a kid and we hunted and killed hogs, that's what it would look like. Like it's a 1/2 inch thick bacon.
Yeah, some of it I've gotten like a chunk that I'm like, that was like 1 inch of bacon.
Yeah,
it was like a cube.
And they don't hold back with their spice. If you order mild, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I do like.
If you order hot, it's
I wish that
caliente.
we could get them to sponsor us or Gomez. Either one of you guys, Gomez burritos, Rico's burritos.
Yep.
Just hook us up with some burritos.
All right, dude. They're burritos. We just had burritos today. They brought them in because the salesmen have a meeting in a couple weeks.
Was it good time?
It was no. They stopped doing that.
bring
Thank
good
God.
times.
I hated the good time ones, man.
I'd eat them, but they were such a bummer.
I know. I would too. Santiago's, man, and they were actually decent. I know you.
It depends because if you go get them from the plate, like from a Santiago's, like a real one, they're good. If you go to like the little like satellite Santiago's, you get like the dinky. They're like this big.
Oh yeah. And they were
like, it's $2.50, and
they sell them to gas
stations
stations and stuff too, and they're horrible. But these here, they were picked up from the actual Santiago's, and they were pretty decent. I liked it. So,
yeah. Well, I feel bad, guys.
Well, that's why taking a blow up doll for a date
it might be worse.
Would be way worse. Then you got to go to Applebee's or Chili's.
Like
Applebee's
that.
or Chili's.
I mean, it's got to be a terrible place.
We'll buy the blow-up doll. I don't care. I'll do that. I mean,
well,
you could use
we
mine.
were buying these. You can probably get a cheap blow-up doll for $10-15 on
they
Amazon.
Could use mine, man.
That's you fine. Got one?
Maybe.
Old Rosie.
That's the worst name for it.
Well,
that's my mom's name.
I know. I forgot about it.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, no way.
What's wrong with you? I was thinking of like Rosie Palms, you know.
No, I see. Yeah.
I did, and then I didn't realize.
It's like, you want to call Karen?
Yeah. Mine's name's Karen.
Yeah. We went off the deep end.
Yeah. Well, guys, I apologize. I was worried about this.
Oh man, me too, man.
I was getting anxiety on the way over here. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be a good thing or not. But so far. I mean, I chewed the damn thing up. I don't know what else to do, guys. I'm sorry. I haven't even taken a drink of this milk.
Well, hey, we don't have any guests planned next week.
We'll try and get one.
I'm shooting some invites out. I'm waiting for some replies.
We'll get some figured out.
Yep.
Well, guys, I'm sorry. That was not bad at all, unfortunately.
Almost tasty.
I mean, it didn't taste good, but I mean, already the heat's like subsided in my mouth.
That's
dude.
crazy, dude. I mean, we all saw that video from Alex. I mean, like, what?
Like, maybe I got a bunk one. Now I almost want to get another one.
You should. Well, how much was it? It was like $14, $15?
I think it was $10, $9.99.
You would think, no, because like maybe it was like a knockoff one or something.
No, it's the same one.
I know, but
it's from the same company. I don't know.
It's made of corn syrup, sugar, water, gelatin, citric acid, natural.
I don't even need this
red
milk.
40, 9 million chew chili extract. I don't know.
Well, now I just feel bad, but.
Well, hey, till next week, man.
Hey, I did my damn thing. So in your guys' face, I don't want to hear about it. I did it.
Yep.
It wasn't that bad, unfortunately. I thought I was going to suffer more, but...
It would be funny if you finished in last place next year, and then you got to do that punishment, too.
Yeah, I really hope not, but anything's possible. But guys, yeah, we thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching us right now, make sure to subscribe. And if you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there. Subscribers really help us.
Yep.
And just tuning in helps, and sharing our stuff helps.
And I appreciate you guys still following us, and keep following us on Saturday, because I'll be giving live updates from the Nuggets and Lakers game in Denver.
Oh, snap, Chadley. I love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy. Well done on the Nitro.
Later.